Governor, it's an honor to be here with you and to hear that very generous introduction. You're lucky to have such a great Lieutenant Governor. And Governor, I understand Governor Sanford will be here soon. I'm here stumping for him and for the Lieutenant Governor as the head of the Republican Governors Association. We're trying to raise money and activate the base and do everything we can to get Republican governors elected. And I'm convinced that we're going to do it, and we're going to be able to fill more governors' mansions with Republicans across the country. I love being here. Let me tell you how I got here tonight. Scott called on the phone, and he said, Governor Romney, you're from Massachusetts, and you're a Republican. Do you believe in free speech? I said, well, of course I do. I mean, just because we're from Massachusetts and the state's liberal doesn't mean I don't believe in free speech. He said, good, we'd like you to give one. So here I am in Lexington County, the famous county that has done such a job in nominating Republicans and getting them to the White House. And I want to salute you on the work that you did in nominating our President George W. Bush and getting him in the White House. Congratulations. We didn't do much of a job in Massachusetts on that score, but we appreciate what you did. Now, one thing that Governor Bauer said I didn't follow, you said I had 4 sons and they'd married 5 girls. I have 5 sons and they've married 5 young ladies. and we have together a total of 8 grandchildren with a 9th on its way. I think a little boy coming in May. And my wife would be here this evening, but she is with the grandkids and my oldest son out in California, where he works actually for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And there's a bit of a story to that. It's unusual for somebody who's a Red Sox fan to ever leave Massachusetts. But he went to the Dodgers because they're not in the same league, and my guess is he'll be rooting for the Red Sox. But today I got the honor to speak at the Citadel and listen to the cadets. I've never had a more attentive audience. Those guys aren't allowed to move. And they sat there looking at me, and then it came time for questions and answers. And one young man raised his hand and asked a question which was not in the normal vein. Most of them were very serious, erudite questions. And he raised his hand and he said, Governor, what do you think about Johnny Damon of the Red Sox being traded to the Yankees? And there was sort of a gasp from the audience that something so frivolous would be asked at the Citadel. And I said, well, it just proves that I have something in common with you people here in the South. We all hate Yankees. Now, as you know, I've had the chance to visit, I guess now 3 counties and speak at Republican county events, Greenville County, and I've been able to also be here tonight. I talked to my wife, Ann, in California today, and I said, can you believe it? I'm back in South Carolina speaking to Republicans. Did you, sweetheart, in your wildest dreams, ever see me out speaking at Republican conventions in South Carolina? And she said, Mitt, you weren't in my wildest dreams. There's some things about my life that were not terribly predictable, and she evidenced that by that comment. One of them, of course, as Governor Bauer indicated, was the leap of getting into the Olympics. What a job that was. I love the chance to get to know those Olympians and meet the people who put on the games and see the 23,000 volunteers. But there was a certain degree of irony, a non sequitur, if you will, in my taking a job to run the Olympics, because I'd love to be a great athlete, but I'm not that great of an athlete. I have to be honest. We have a family Olympics with my 5 boys in the summertime, and I typically come in last in the various events. There may be 1 or 2 that I do all right in, but basically don't do that well. And so when my sons heard that I was taking the job to organize the largest and the most prestigious athletic event in the world, they recognized the irony in that. But when they saw it in the paper, I got a call from my oldest son. He said, Dad, I've talked to the brothers. We've seen the paper. We want you to know there's not a circumstance we could have conceived of that would put you on the front page of the sports section. But there it was.